channel. Today I'm doing Leetcode problem 1592, rearrange spaces between words in JavaScript. Okay, basically what we're doing is we're giving a string of spaces and words, right? What we're going to do is we're going to redistribute the spaces between the words evenly, right? So this is our input, this is our output. So here's the explanation. Our total of 9 spaces and 4 words, right? So we've got, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, these are just 2. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1. Right. Okay. So since there are 3 spaces between the words, we want to evenly distribute those spaces, right? So 9 divided by 3 is 3 spaces, so we put 3 spaces between each word. Now the other piece of this puzzle is, let's look at this one down here, right? So let's say hypothetically we have 7 spaces and 3 words, so you got 2 gaps between the words you need to fill. So 7 divided by 3 is 3.5, right? So what we do for this is you get rid of the decimal, right? And so that gives you 3 spaces and 1 left over, right? 2 3s and 1 left over. So we put the 3s in between the words, and then we put whatever's left over at the end of the string, right? So that's how this works. So we're going to actually grab this one, move on over to Leetcode, or sorry, on our code pen. Let's create our function. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the number of spaces. So we're going to create a variable called spaces. That's 0. Let's log into the console. And we're going to return, for now, an array. So I'm going to just put spaces in there. We should see an array with 0 in it. Cool. All right, so first thing we need to do is figure out how many spaces we have. So we can use a for loop to do that. To say for let I equal 0 if I is less than text dot length, increment I. And here we can just do a simple if check that says if text at I equals space, and we increment spaces. There we go. Now we see 7 in our array because we have 7 spaces. Okay. Next thing we need to do is we need to create an array in which we get rid of all these spaces, and then we have each individual word as elements in the array. So the way we can do that is we're going to create an array. I'm going to go ahead and return that array too, so we can see it. Create an array. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to split on a space. There we go. Now we have all these, each word is an element, but then we also have these empty spaces here. We gotta get rid of those. So we can use the filter method. I'll just use car. So, and then an arrow function, and then we can say if car doesn't equal that. And that gets rid of them, because the filter method, what it's saying is it's going to keep in whatever your command is here. So it's keeping everything but those these things. It's not a space technically, but whatever you would call that, I'm not sure. Okay. Now we need to figure out how many spaces we're going to put between each word and how many spaces we're going to put at the end of the string. So to get the chunks of spaces, we'll call it space chunks, you can say math.floor spaces divided by array.length minus 1, right? Because our array is going to have a length of 3, but we only have 2 spaces or 2 gaps in which we're going to put these space chunks in. So we need array.length minus 1. Okay, so we'll add space chunks to this so we can see what we got. We should see 3. There we go. Now we need to get whatever's left over, right? Because we have 1 space left over that we're going to put at the end of the string. So we'll call that remainder. And we'll say that equals spaces modulus array.length minus 1. Oh, I forgot to put that in here. We need to return it so we can see what we got. We should see a 1. And we do. All right, we're looking good. Now we're going to create a result. Oops. A result variable. Set it to an empty array. And what we're going to do is we're going to push in the first 2 words. Or we're going to push in a word, first word, and then we're going to push in number of spaces represented by space chunks. So in this case, 3, and we can use the repeat method in JavaScript to do that. So we say for let I equals 0, I is less than array.length. Oh, minus 1 because we don't want to deal with the last word. Say I plus plus. So if we console.log array at I, you see we get first 2 words. Yep. Okay. So what we can do now is we can push in array I and space dot repeat space chunks. Now, if we return result, we should see the first 2 words separated by 3 spaces. We do. Good. All right, and then finally, we need to push in the last word, and if there's a remainder, push in the remainder. So you say result push array at array.length minus 1. There's the word, and then we'll do an if check that says if remainder is greater than 0, we push in this with the oops, we need a space. Repeat number of times remainder. We got it. Great. All right. And so now we can simply just return result dot join. There you go, we got it. Now I already know we're missing one thing in here, and I left it out on purpose so we can kind of see this mistake when we run our code. So let's run the tests. Pass the test. All right, so now we have 17 test cases that weren't passed, and I can already tell you what the issue is. The issue is strings with one word, right? So we're getting this, right, because our space chunks is equaling 0. Well, we're getting this because we don't have any, we're getting this because we don't have any spaces between words. So all the spaces need to go at the end. So all you need to do is just say here, if array.length equals 1, we're going to say array.push repeat spaces oh wait, I screwed this up. That's what you want. And then we can just immediately return array.join because we don't need any of the other code after this point. And that's all we need. So let's just grab this little bit of code, back on over to Leetcode, and let's paste it right here. Let's go ahead and submit. Look at that. Fantastic. All right, hopefully you found this video enjoyable and helpful. If you did, please give it a like. It helps my channel to grow. If you'd like to see more like these, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again real soon.